And let's get more now on finance, especially in light, of course, of this week's Jobs and Skills Summit. To do that, we're joined by Suzanne Haddan, Managing Director of BFG Financial Services, in the studio. Good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning.
Always good to have you in the studio.
So there's this big build-up to the Jobs Summit. It happened on Thursday and Friday. Many points came out of the summit, a lot to unpack. But what were some of the main points for you that you noticed?
Well, for business, it was about getting more workers. They're getting sick of playing Where's Wally when they need to hire someone. And on that front, we had a proposed increase in permanent migration, 35,000 extra spots. It's going to be crucial that that's for skilled labour, not cheap labour. We also had extra training, significant numbers for TAFE and some other incentives to get more people skilled ready. Lots of discussion on encouraging our age pensioners to get in there and get a bit of extra money on top of their age pension. That was a great one, I thought, mainly just for this year, but let's see if that's extended. And lots of discussion on women's participation in the workforce. As they said, it's an untapped reservoir of talent, and we need to get more people in there.
Absolutely. Just on the point of trying to encourage more women in the workforce, you know, there's the issue of childcare subsidies and everything, but that is something that the Federal Treasurer said would have to be addressed in the next budget, not this budget, because things are already baked in. I wonder, though, whether if you get more women in the workforce, is that going to solve the gender pay gap issue?
Not necessarily, and solving that gender pay gap issue would increase wages, which is what the unions certainly wanted to achieve out of the summit. Sadly, we actually had an increase in the gender pay gap over the COVID period. It's now over 14%, which is just unacceptable. There are a few initiatives coming out of the summit to assist with dealing with that. One of them's already baked in: same job, same pay, but also requiring more companies to tell you what are they doing on gender pay disparity. But particularly the public service will have to focus more on strategies, and big business, and even businesses with 100 employees will now have to report on what they're doing. So that's good.
Suzanne, as you say, for business, the top priority was really getting those extra hands on to help those labour shortages that they're dealing with. From the workers' perspective and the union's perspective, it was wage rises. We want to see a lift in wages. Do we see any movement that would deliver on that?
There was certainly talk about relaxing some of the tests for enterprise-type bargaining, and also spreading the ability to be able to collectively negotiate your wages across different businesses. Now, not surprisingly, businesses are very nervous about that one, so there's a lot to play out in that. But let's be clear, the government should have a look in the mirror, because it's public service wages that are actually the lowest growth compared to private sector. So let's have a look there.
That is intriguing.
It is.
Let's talk superannuation now. And one of the stories that coming out this week was the fact that 5 out of 69 default super funds failed the annual APRA performance test. How did they fail this test? Like, what's the judging criteria?
So they look at up to 8 years of past performance, and they do an objective benchmark based on how they're investing your money. The good news is the previous year, which was the first year of this test, 13 failed. So, and over 5 million more members are in low-cost funds, which is great. The big issue to me is how they report on risk. It's very complicated for the average person to have a look at that, because they name their funds. You've heard balanced, growth. That means nothing. I saw a balanced fund that had 80% in shares and property. That's not balanced. And so we need to see them categorise risk in a column, as well as fees and returns.
Suzanne, always great to have you in the studio. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.